I love flying drones. I've been big into drones for the past few years. I've used both prosumer and also cheap ones you buy at a gas station. I even used a drone for my engagement video a few years ago. Now during this time of me buying drones, the only drone that was worth even looking at was the Phantom series. I even bought my own Phantom 4 last summer, and I love it. But there's a new drone out there, looking to undercut the competition, coming in at around $400 cheaper than the Phantom 4 with very similar performance and features. So what's the catch? I'm Kevin the Tech Ninja, and let's find out. This is the Autel Robotics X-Star Premium Drone. It comes with a 4K camera and has a range of 1.2 miles. It also comes with a hard shell carrying case, extra props, controller, charger, and a battery for the grand total of $900. Let's take a look at the Phantom 4. It too comes with a 4K camera, has a range around 2 miles, and it also comes with a soft shell carrying case. It too has extra props, controller, charger, and battery. And this retails for $1,400, but since it's a bit older, you can find it for around $1,100 these days. Now for the Phantom, I did buy an additional backpack for $100, and this backpack is made by Depthstech. And I bought this because the soft shell case just, to me, was flimsy, it felt cheap, and I was worried that it would break. So let's address the elephant in the room. It's obvious that Autel took some design cues from DJI. It's not a bad thing, but there is a lot of similarities going on. I mean, even the apps are pretty much the same. A few differences is that the body on the X-Star is a bit more narrow. Also, when you install the props, you actually spin them on there versus the self-locking that the Phantom has. It does require 2 hands, but in the end, the Phantom 4 is just a little bit quicker putting the props on. Autel also lets you remove the camera too, which in my testing gave me around 5 more minutes of flight. Also, if there's a better camera coming out, you can actually just swap it out on there. Or let's say you broke your camera, well, just buy an additional camera and throw it on there. DJI gives you this option only with the $2,500 Inspire, so you're stuck with the optics on the Phantom 4. And also when it comes to repairability, it's not that much easier because of that. The controller on the X-Star is better. The mount is better, it looks better, and you have more controls without digging through the menus on your phone. And the controller has a screen on it, and that tells you flight details, height, speed, all the things that would actually be on your phone, you can just see it on your controller. As far as flying, they both feel very similar. Both have amazing acceleration, and when people see these drones in person, they're always blown away by the speed and the range that they can fly. The X-Star seems to be much quicker overall. It's very snappy, weaving back and forth between objects or going forward or going backwards. It's just fast. The Phantom 4 is slower, but it's solid as a rock. Doesn't accelerate too fast, but it is much more stable. I feel more in control flying it. I really have a secure feeling, like I can put it up in the air and stop touching the controller and it just sits there, and I feel good about that. The X-Star does sit there when you're flying and you don't touch anything, but any slight movement of wind, I think it does affect this drone a bit more. Taking off and landing is actually really tough, even with the slightest of wind. For both drones, I suggest getting an extra battery. They're around $120 for both drones, give or take depending on sales. And I did find that both drones gave me around 22 minutes of flight time. I did feel that the Phantom did nudge out a few more minutes before auto landing, but what I actually did find with both drones is that it depends on how you fly. If you baby it, kind of let it sit idle in the air and things like that, you can extend that time out up to 5 to 10 more minutes. But if you're flying both, I do think they're pretty much the same as far as battery life, if the Phantom may get you a couple more though. Image quality shouldn't be a concern with the X-Star. It shoots on par with the Phantom 4, just a bit cooler. And that can be adjusted in flight if you want a warmer shot. The software on both drones are very similar, but it does seem that DJI has Apple bias. What I mean by that is that the application is prone to successfully connect on Apple devices versus Android. I've tried many phones and I find myself having to reboot, unplug, and plug it in and do all sorts of dances and tricks to get it work on Android. But with Apple, it just works fine. DJI also has intelligent flight modes, which until now have been unmatched in the industry. A few of my favorite modes are Follow Me, where it follows the controller, Waypoints, where you can set a waypoint and it'll fly, and Point of Interest, where it flies around a point you set. The X-Star took their stab at the intelligent flying with their own modes that matches and sometimes surpasses DJI. It too has follow me, and the waypoint mode is amazing. The waypoint mode, what I like about it is that you can set the waypoints up, and even if it flies out of range, it will still fly the waypoints and come right back. Overall, the Phantom 4 is still the standard for drones. But if you want the best bang for the buck, the Autel X-Star is right behind it, and it's amazing. If you've never used a drone before, the Autel X-Star is an amazing experience. You'll love the way it flies. It feels great, very responsive. The controls are very, very tight, and the flying modes, a lot of fun. You can have it follow you around, you can have it orbit around something, you can do a lot of cool things with it. It feels just as high quality as the Phantom 4, if not a little better, because you can take the actual lens off. Anyways guys, want to give you guys a kind of a review of the Autel X-Star drone and also compare it to the Phantom 4, as I've been flying Phantom drones for a couple years. Anyways guys, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, hit the links down below to pick one up if you're interested in buying it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Say it again. Tell a friend that it's him again. Yo, real talk, opinions gon' be sharper than 4K. Scope Squad, eat it up, simmer it, saute. Ninja got reviews and rants galore. You ain't never seen a channel like this before. No hashtag crispy around this runway. Utter out your mouth that you started with gunplay.